Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be dissertating and talking about having Scorpio on the third house cusp in a natal horoscope. Now, the third house in astrology governs communications, siblings, short journeys, early education, neighbors, transportation, and assimilating information. Now, the sign on the house can give characteristics to that house and qualities to the manner of communication and other things that are pertaining to the third house. Now, planets in the third house can flavor the house. The house where the ruler of the third house is posited in may show the sector of life where the third house energy is deposited or injected into. Now, also, transits and progressions can be important and can show more activity connected with third house matters, and this would be especially noticeable if the person has an empty or vacant third house in their natal chart. Well, anyway, people, the first thing I look at when somebody has Scorpio on the third house cusp in their natal chart, well, it seems to me that the person can be very, I guess you could say, very intense in their communications, show a lot of persistence and tenacity, because Scorpio is, of course, it's a fixed sign. Persistence, tenacity in their communications. This could be a person that could be very incisive, sometimes caustic or sarcastic when in their conversations with others. The relationship with the siblings, if applicable, or if the person has one or more brothers or sisters, can be intense. They could be very secretive regarding these matters. Perhaps this person, as far as what they like to talk about, perhaps matters connected with astrology, the occult, supernatural, things that are associated with investigation, solving mysteries. This person may be interested in perhaps in puzzle books, because they like to have things connected with solving problems. So, and it has to do with mysteries, you could say. So this could be a person that as far as neighbors go, perhaps any communication or conversation, they could be very secretive about things that are connected with short journeys. There may be a lot of emotional intensity put into this. This person might have an ability, perhaps a proclivity to transform others' lives, might be a very good or exceptional motivational speaker. Conversations may be connected with regeneration, rebirth. This person may go through some kind of change or transformation in connection with the way he or she communicates. Conversations might be connected with psychology, psychiatry. Many of you may have watched renowned Dr. Drew and seen his TV show. Well, I don't know his rising sign, but his sun sign is in Virgo, and very likely in a solar chart his third house cusp would be Scorpio. So to me, he seems like he's pretty incisive and somebody that can see through duplicity or deception, and be able to see through what could be superficial as far as somebody else may go, and see through facades. And that is something where I think figures very prominently for people that have this position. Now, also in the early education, perhaps this person may have taken courses that were connected with astrology, if applicable, if the school did have this. I know I would figure in a lot of as far as high schools go, may not have this as a subject to learn. Perhaps things connected with police work, law enforcement, things connected with investigation, chemistry, even things maybe with surgery. Maybe this person Maybe one of their favorite games was the game called Operation when they were young. I'm only kidding. Anyway, this could be somebody who put a lot of emotional intensity into their early education, took this very things as far as that goes very seriously. This could also be perhaps a person, when we look at Scorpio on the cusp of the third house, may be very insightful, may have be able to see right to the heart of matters, really might at times be cutting in their communications. This is somebody that can be very fixed in their viewpoints. If somebody, however, if somebody that has Scorpio on their third house cusp and say has Mercury in a mutable sign, or has Mercury in a mutable house, which would be the 3rd, 6th, 9th, or 12th, this could be modified considerably, and this person might show quote-unquote mutability or more flexibility in their communications. On the negative side, this person may need to be wary of perhaps being manipulated or manipulation as far as communicating to others, and this could be a person that in some isolated cases, if this person has brothers and or has at least one sibling, perhaps jealousy, or maybe they have a brother or sister that might be jealous of him or her. There could be feelings at times of vengeance, perhaps, because we know that's strongly associated with Scorpio. And I think if the rising sign is Libra, this would be modified considerably, because Libra is about peace and having amicable relationships, tranquil relationships. Now, if somebody were to say have Leo as their rising sign, then there might be a stronger thing as far as the intensity with the Scorpio, with the third house, with perhaps having something connected perhaps with being bitter in their communications or towards brothers or sisters. And it's not a knock on Leo, but I'm just saying that it's obviously Leo is not as peaceful on average as Libra would be. And if Virgo is the rising sign, well, you'd have to factor that in as well, because Virgo is not really a sign that I would think would be connected as far as being vindictive or vengeful. But however, if Scorpio is on the third house cusp, regardless of the rising sign, this person should still guard against those possible feelings. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for having Scorpio on the third house cusp in a natal chart. And stay tuned next time, where I'll be dissertating and talking about having Sagittarius on the third house cusp in a natal chart. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.